morning, everyone. Nicole here from Sundara Yoga. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to give you a couple of moments for those who are just stretching and waking up on this glorious Friday morning. Just enjoying some lovely warming water. Good morning, Marie. Thank you so much for jumping in, gorgeous woman. Okay, so I'm going to allow you just to get yourself set, and I'm going to take my place on the mat. So if you're going to be tuning in a little bit later, thank you so much as well for allowing me to guide you this morning. So this morning's practice is actually dedicated to finding peace in the chaos. So what I'm hoping to do is just do a beautiful gentle warming sequence and then cool you off with the golden nectar, which is Shavasana. So once again, find all that you need to nourish your body. So if that means selecting props, selecting modifications through the practice, then I lovingly implore you to adopt the key yama in the value set of my yoga practice, which is ahimsa. So ahimsa means to do no harm. So if we can draw in that beautiful nectar as it applies to the asana practice, because we're not wanting to stretch too far, we're not wanting to shift too far beyond the edge, because that's when the ego gets involved and we're not actually being really present and holding space for ourselves in a loving and kind way. So thank you, and I'll just get up to take my seat. So I lovingly just invite you to take your seat in your easy cross-leg position or your easy position. So as you're coming in to take the seat, just placing the hands just on the earth, and what that actually does is slightly just lifts the heart, so you're then able to feel the lift of the throat and the connection to the back of the neck and the top of the crown. So as you're sitting in with the palms facing down just towards the earth, allow your body to feel the connection to the earth. And let's lovingly invite the breath in to fuel. Lovingly invite the breath in to create space in the body, to just start to remove any residual energy that may be overhanging from the evening sleep, or if you're watching this in the afternoon from the day's events. And just now pay attention to your breath. So just the inhalations and the exhalations are of equal distance, in through the nose and then out through the nose. Drawing your breath in, drawing your breath out. And as you're drawing the breath in, it's the prana that is drawing this life force in. It's creating this length and this space in the body. So I want you to visualize when you're drawing the breath in, this rising and lifting of the heart. Once again, it's the softening of the shoulders down the back and not so much up near the ears, but just resting the shoulders down, lifting the chin and the chest slightly. And the exhale is the release, and the exhale then also grounds you back into the earth. So as we're slowly just becoming aware of the sensations in the body, you're drawing the breath in from the base of the belly, and the belly is nice and full. As you draw the breath now to sit into the heart space, the chamber of the heart, it blossoms like a beautiful lotus. And sending the breath now up to the throat. And there's a slight pause at the throat. And then with the next exhalation, what I'd like you to do is focus on drawing the breath out through the two nostrils, up through to Ajna, third eye, over the top of the crown, and just resting at the top of the crown and sending the breath now back over the back of the head, back down the spine, and then drawing the breath up through the visualization of the front body. So what we're essentially doing is moving the breath like a sausage, or it just moves up, so it draws up and over. But when you get to the throat, pause and maybe release any tension through the jaw. And then the exhale is the release out through the 2 nostrils. Consciously awaken the 3rd eye out over the top of the head, but don't take the breath too far out of the crown. We want to maintain the integrity in the breath. So it's this chamber breathing of the front and the back bodies. So beautiful pranayama. So for those of you who haven't practiced pranayama, it's a regulation practice. It's a regulation of the breath, and it's beautiful to allow the body to balance, recalibrate. And it's also a beautiful practice to allow yourself to draw in and focus on what is. Focus on this present moment. So as you're continuing with your pranayama, and finally when you get to the base of your breath, I'll now lovingly just invite you to clasp the hands in front of your body and just allow any tension to release out of the shoulders, and then just lovingly invite the hands into the prayer position, into the heart. And just next breath is bowing the head in gratitude to your practice, gratitude for the sun, gratitude for the day, gratitude for friends, family, loved ones, gratitude for you in your perfect body, gratitude for all the things that you have, gratitude for Mother Earth in terms of she's providing us all of the abundance that we need to survive. So whatever your intention is, just lovingly invite yourself to become connected to that practice. This is the Sankalpa in the practice. Sankalpa is connection, is an intention. And failing to adopt an intention or with awareness or from a place of integrity, the practice is just not yoga. The practice is exercise. So let's really, really form that connection. And let's just lovingly now open the eyes and start to bring some integration of the breath and the flow. So the inhalation is up over the head, elbows into the side of the ears. The exhale, the hands come through to the prayer position. The next inhale, place the palms facing down, turn the palms up, raise the energy up and over the head, elbows into the ears, back to the sit bones. Exhale is the release back through to the prayer position. Inhale, the hands come down to the floor, turning the palms up. So we're releasing tension through the front body, through the front of the shoulders, through the elbows, lifting up, and this sense of rising up above you, elbows into the ears, taking a little seal or a mudra at the top of the head to connect the crown with the higher perspective above the chakra. Inhale, hands back through to the prayer pose. Placing hands onto the floor once again, turning the palms up, allowing the shoulders to soften, rising the breath up, inhale, and the exhale, hands through to the prayer position. So next inhale, let's come to the right side of the body, and let's just slowly just start to allow ourselves to drop into the right shoulder. So what I'd like you to do is just open through the front of the front body. So open the left shoulder, so we're not dropping the left shoulder into the pose, but rather lifting the ribs, lifting the heart, and dropping into a side bend. So if we can, just place the elbow onto the floor. If that's not accessible or within our practice, we can actually use our blocks, or we can use pillows to stack the earth up. So let's release. Beautiful opener for the side of the back. If we have lower back pain, we generally stack a little bit more. If there's tension, particularly if we're sitting for long periods of time in the day, it's a beautiful pose to release the lumbar. Next inhale, if we can, within our practice, raise the left arm up, palm facing forward, lift out of the shoulders, 5-pointed star in the hands, drop the left knee to the floor, towards the floor, sit back into the hips, raise out of the waist again. That's it, breathe and rest. Next inhale, dropping yourself to the opposite side now. Once again, you can rotate and use the block to the left side, palm facing down, and just feeling where the edge is in your pose. Once again, elbow onto the block or elbow to the floor. Next inhale is raising yourself up in terms of the right hand. So once again, we don't want to be dropping into the pose. We want to make sure that the ribs are nice and open. Inhale up over the head. So dropping into the left side, so you're lengthening the top side edge of the right waist, up over the top of the head, side body. That's it, 5-pointed star. Breath here. Just watch the head as well. If you can't look up, that's causing too much tension for the neck, just drop the head towards the floor, but just watch the neck. Breath. That's it, breathing. Next inhale. Let's rotate ourselves back to the opposite side now, so to the right side. And what you may feel is that you're able to go a little bit deeper into your pose. So seated, side angle pose. So it's important to lift up out of the shoulder and expand the side of that beautiful body, the side of the left waist. Continue with the breath, so not holding your breath, breathing through. That's it. Next inhale, come to the left side now. Just enjoy the opening and the space that you're creating in your body with this slow flow movement. Next inhale, let's raise the arms up again and just imagine a beautiful ball of light in through the palms. I'd like you to sit up from the waist and keep that nice ball of light in through the middle of your palms and slowly start to fold yourself forward. This could be a beautiful pose for you here. Sitting back into the sit bones, this could be beautiful for you here in this position. So what I'm not wanting you to do is strive too far forward, but just don't go beyond your edge. Find somewhere in the middle of the pose. And then when you can, sit back into the sit and just bow the head. Focus on connection back to the glutes, the knees. Breathe in deeply. So the belly comes out, the belly is full on the inhale. And it comes back to the back of the spine to then create some more space for the inhalation. So the next inhale is to slowly lift the head, meander yourself back from the seat position, and then just slowly from your seat position, just slowly starting to awaken Muladhara, Svatisthana and Manipuna, the navel, the sacral and the root. So some lovely circular motions. And just rotate to the opposite side. Inhale and the exhale. That's it. Changing direction. Continuing the breath. That's it. So coming back to take your seated position. Let's rise the arms up and above the head, and let's connect, if we can, the thumbs by facing one another, and then making a fist with the hands out over the top of the head. So let's just start with the palms facing forward and just allowing the lift of the shoulders and the lift of the heart. I'm just going to take you through a Kundalini practice of breath. So what we're doing is the inhale is coming in through the nose, and exhale is coming out the mouth. Inhale is through the nose, exhale is out the mouth. So what we're doing is we're just going to be rotating this inhale, exhale, so kind of this action of pumping. The inhale is the belly is back to the back of the spine, exhale the belly comes out. So it's this cleansing breath, just for a few rotations. Arms up above the head if you can tolerate that. Next, inhale, exhale. Clearing the throat. Beautiful. I can just feel that coming. That's exactly what I needed. Beautiful cleansing breath there. Okay, so let's just try that again. So obviously, clearly my practice is very alive in my body, which is just beautiful. So just give me a couple of moments. That's the yoga in action. The yoga is just beautifully presenting itself forward as a beautiful lesson. It's beautiful insight. Arms up over the head, palms facing forward. Next, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You ready? Inhale. Exhale. To come down, let's shake it out. So practicing that breath rotation about 20 times if you can. 3 times 20 times, beautiful practice for the morning. And that's finally, once again, beautiful Kriya, Kundalini tradition. Next, inhale. Hold the breath, exhale, release. Shaking it out. So hopefully there's a little bit of heat starting to form in the body. You're feeling starting to move any prana that's been stagnant. You're starting to get a little bit of warmth and heat developing in the practice. I'll just take a little sip of warm water. I definitely feel that working for my body. So, okay, so let's come off our seat position. Just lovingly invite the knees to come out. As we've been sitting for a little while, they may be a little bit stacked. So let's come in to find our beautiful tabletop pose. So in our tabletop, our hands are nice and connected to the earth. So a strong table, so we don't want the hips too far splayed out. We don't want the concave in the spine. We just want a nice flat table, strong core. Focal point to the floor. And with the next inhale, just like you to come into some rotations of the spine. Making some S shapes with the body. Opening and expanding the hips as well. So just improvised movement here. Nothing too structured. Not so concerned about alignment, but just making sure that the wrists are supported. Awakening the spine. Slowly warming the body. That's it. And let's release now any tension through the face. Making sure that you're using also the neck. So release the tongue forward. And if you want to let out a beautiful through the mouth, release. So, okay, come back to stable position. Next inhale is lift the navel up. So you're making a nice fist through the navel. Nice and connected to the floor. Eyelets of the elbows are turned forward. So we're actually really strong in through the shoulders. Next inhale, let's just flip the hips back. Let's turn the toes back up to the toes. And let's now raise the chest forward. Flip the chin back. Raise the tongue out of the body. Simbasa lioness pose. Splay the hips back. That's it. Next inhale, back to take your stable position. Turning the toes back and then raising, allowing your body to come into, so that's that concave shape over the spine. So essentially what we're doing from here is lifting up out of the spine, so the chin comes towards the chest and you're getting that nice release of the back of the neck. So you're up out of the shoulders. Next inhale, sink the shoulders forward, shoot the hips back, turn the toes back, raise the heart up, inhale. So the front of the shoulder open. That's it. Next inhale, turning the toes back. And now we're just going to be coming firstly into our first downward dog of the morning. So this is where because we haven't worked the hamstrings, we just want to make sure that we're supporting the length in the body by turning the toes up, reaching up. Let's bend the knees first. So what I'd like you to do is focus on the energy of the pose towards the back of the feet. So I don't want any weight stacked onto the hands or the shoulders. So we're flipping the hips back. So you can see, if you're watching along, if you can see here, I'm stacking towards the shoulders. So what we want is to make sure that we're stacking towards the back body. Next inhale is just start to meander. A little bit of pulsing with the feet. And also maybe just even moving side to side with the body. That's it. Next inhale, come back to the spring of the toes. Come back through your tabletop. Resting the body back now to take Balasana, child pose. So I want you to just lengthen out from the spine. Starting to enjoy the slow heat that's building. Next inhale, back to take your tabletop, turn the toes back. Lift up, shoot the hips back. The head, looking focal point back towards the back of the feet. And then once again, slowly bending the knees, however. And slowly. Just rotating yourself. Side to side. That's it. Next inhale, spring of the toes. Come back to take tabletop. Resting yourself back in Balasana, turning the palms up, allowing yourself to surrender in. Breath. Next inhale once again. Finding the integrity in the pose here. Turning the toes back. Once again, it's the eyelets of those elbows. And the shoulders rotate down the back. So it's the
ears away from the shoulders, still bending the knees. Focal point back through the feet and rotating again. Slowly awakening here. That's it. Next inhale, up to the spring of the toes, back to take your tabletop and release the palms up to support the shoulders to recover. Exhale. Now let's just lift the body up to an upright position, and we're going to be coming into the miniature salute to the sun, the Surya Namaskar, which is generally practiced in the morning to honour the beautiful energy that the sun provides for us. And once we're through the mini sun salute, I'll then take you through the Surya Namaskar A. So the next inhalation, let's just allow the arms to come up over the head, inhale. The exhale is to the heart space. Next inhale is folding ourselves forward into the extension of Balasana, inhale. And the exhale, head comes to the floor. Next inhale, coming through to a long plank, and we're actually going to be bending the elbows, chin and chest to floor, and then scooping ourselves forward, hips to the floor, elbows into the side body, raising ourselves up, eyelets of the elbows forward, upward facing dog. Next exhale is coming through your long table and then coming back to scoop the buttocks back, arms beside the body, inhale over the head. Let's continue the flow. Exhale through to the heart space. Next inhale, reaching forward and bowing the head. Exhale is coming into the extension of your child pose. Next inhale, looking forward and placing pressure onto the hands by coming into the long plank, getting ready. Elbows into the side body, chin and chest to floor. Adjusting the hands to the side of the breastbone, flattening the body out, scooping the feet flat to the floor, elbows into the side body, Bhujangasana, Cobra, upward facing dog, knees to the floor, eyelets to the elbows forward. Next inhale, flipping your table back once again, buttocks back to the heels, raise yourself up and open, inhale. The exhale, hands through the prayer pose. Once again, the final flow, inhale, allow yourself to come forward, bowing the head. Next inhale, long plank, chin and chest to floor. Scooping through, adjusting the hand side of the breastbone, elbows into the side body, upward facing dog. Flat of the feet. Inhale, back through your long table. Exhale, buttocks back. Raise yourself up, inhale. The exhale, hands through to the prayer pose. So just settle here. Next inhale, come back to your tabletop, flip the toes if you can, and we're going to be coming into Malasana, which is our garland pose or our squat pose. So if you would like to step into garland pose, you're very welcome to. Otherwise, if you want to take a little froggy leap into your pose here. So what we can also use is the blocks to stack underneath our feet, if that's more accessible for you here. So what we're doing is eyelets, so in terms of the shoulders, stucking the shoulders into the inside edge of the knees, Allowing the spine to lift, hands into the prayer pose. That's it, couple more breaths. Sinking deep into the hips. Next inhale is slowly now just meandering yourself out of the pose and coming into flatten the feet, bending the knees, supported forward fold. So let's grab onto the outside of the elbows, allow the spine to concave, open, surrender forward, focus on just supporting the belly and the front body on the knees, surrender forward. So the next inhale, let's just release the hands now and start to meander the feet a little further forward. So what we're doing is making sure we're stacking the weight about hip width apart. So if we can, just start to straighten through the hamstrings. If that's too much, just a slight bend in the knees. And just start to make some circular motions with the hips, side to side. Focus on the chest, coming towards the knees. Slowly raise yourself. One vertebrae at a time. Raise the palms up. Inhale. And exhale. The hands come through to Samastitihi, prayer pose at the heart. So let's just come up to take our position at the top of the mat. And your position here is Uttanasana, the mountain pose. So let's expand the toes. Let's just make sure we're nice and stacked, so not too wide in the pose, not too short in the pose. Somewhere in the middle, so stacking the hips, the knees, the ankles. Expanding the toes so they're nice and wide, as if you're growing roots for stability here. Let's just close the eyes down if it feels safe and within your practice. Let's release any tension through the buttocks. Visualize a beautiful stabilizing cup of water in through the front body. Close your eyes down and just listen to your breath. Beautiful mountain pose. We're grounded to the earth, but we're also risen and raising above. So it's this connection to the earth and raising up to sky, so we're this conduit of energy also between the balance of the left and the right sides of the body. So we're rolling the outside edges of the feet down, the palms are facing forward, softening the shoulders, lifting the heart, softening the buttocks, but visualizing a cup of water so you're nice and stable in through Manipurna, Sadhisvana, and to the root, nice and strong here. So I'm now just going to guide you through the Surya Namaskar A, the Sun Salute A. So, of course, I'm going to offer you some modifications, but I just lovingly invite you to practice whatever your body is serving you. So, if it means that you're not going to practice, say, into the full Adho Mukha Shavasana, down dog, or you choose not to take Chaturanga, it's completely up to you. So, just find your variations. So, what I'm essentially going to do is I'm going to guide the practice for the right side and the left side. I'll guide it for the right side and the left side, so 2 rotations. And then I just lovingly then invite you to guide your own practice for one following rotation. And then we'll join together, so I'll then guide the 4th rotation of the Surya Namaskar. So when you're ready, let's place hands into the heart space, bowing our head in gratitude to the sun, for the energy that the sun provides for us. Thank you so much for allowing me to share the wisdom of this practice with you all. So the next inhale, raise the arms up over the head. Looking up for hope. Exhale, palms focus down. Coming into your forward fold. Exhale, release, Uttanasana. Next inhale, raise the heart forward, Adho Uttanasana. Next exhale, flutter the hands or spring of the hands, right leg comes back into your downward facing dog, followed by the left. Exhale. So the navel is up, eyelid to the elbows, so we're locking the shoulders down. We're stacking the weight back towards the legs. So we don't want the weight transfer forward, we want the weight transfer to come back. Exhale. So I'm going to take you through the variation of coming to the knees first rather than chaturanga. So next inhale, up to the spring of the toes. Coming back to take long plank, knees to the floor. Turn the toes back, chin and chest to floor. Flat of the body, adjust the hands, side of the breastbone. Raise the heart up, Bhujangasana Cobra. Upward facing dog. So feel the eyelids of the elbows forward. Sinking the hips forward. Next inhale is now coming back to your table. Flipping the hips back, turning the toes under, exhale, downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Shavasana. Breathing strongly here, that's it. Finding stillness in the chaos, theme for today. So as we're slowly building heat, the next inhalation is the right leg comes forward into the high or low lunge, so you can step, walk or jump. I'm just going to walk my feet forward into becoming the high lunge and then come into Uttanasana, forward fold, ground. So you're shortening the space between the chest and the knees, ground the legs, raise yourself up and open, palms facing up, inhale. And exhale, hands to the side of the body. Let's continue that flow now on the left side. Inhale, beautiful, raising the heart up to the sun. Exhale, palms facing down, shooting the hips back. Exhale, forward fold. Next inhale, show the heart. Flip the hips back, Adho Uttanasana. So it's the halfway lift. Exhale, flat of the hands, left leg, or the spring of the fingers, left leg comes back now. High lunge, transition, right leg back. Downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Shavasana. So what we don't want, once again, is stacking the weight forward. We want to flip the hips back. And the energy of the pose through the backs of the hamstrings, flipping the hips, navel up. So it's the head away from the shoulders, eyelid to the elbows. So we're rolling the shoulders down the back. Next inhale. Let's come to the spring of the toes. Nice long tabletop, turning the toes back. Chin and chest to floor. Flat of the body. Raising yourself up, elbows into the side body. Bhujangasana Cobra. Upward facing dog. Hips to the floor, knees to the floor. Next, inhale. Once again, long table, turning the toes back, flipping the hips. Exhale, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, step, walk or jump. Left leg into the high lunge, or maybe the transition point here is your low lunge. Spring of the toe, Bringing yourself back into Uttanasana, forward fold. Exhale. Grounding your feet, raising yourself up, feeling the energy starting to build in the body, a slight formation of sweat on the body. It's just beautiful. You're creating this energy, so let's flow a little, just with a little more intensity. Inhale, exhale, float yourself forward into forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, raise the heart forward. Lift the hips back. Exhale, flat of the hands, right leg comes back. Followed by the left. Downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Shavasana. Important to find your breath. Focus on your breath. Drift to your focal point out through the backs of the feet. Next, inhale. Come to your long plank. Feet, knees to the floor, flat of the feet, chin and chest to floor. Side of the breastbone, raising yourself up. Upward facing dog. Next, inhale, turning the hips back, turning the toes back. Adho Mukha Shavasana, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, step, walk or jump. Right leg forward into the high lunge. Left leg comes forward. Uttanasana, ground the feet. Raise yourself up. Lengthen the spine. Inhale. Exhale, ease, release. So let's continue the flow. Left side. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, raise the heart forward. Exhale, flat of the hands or spring of the hands. Left leg comes back, flat of the hands, right leg, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, coming in, flat of the feet, chin and chest to floor, scooping the energy, elbow side body, Bhujangasana Cobra, upward facing dog. Next, inhale, splitting the hips back, turning the toes under, exhale, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, left leg, high or low lunge. Exhale, right foot forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Ground the feet, raise yourself up and open, inhale, and exhale, ease, release. So finding yourself here, back in the mountain pose. What I lovingly now invite you to do is just continue your flow with your perfect body in your own perfect rhythm. So I'm not going to deconstruct the practice for you. So this practice is going to be held in silence. So we're going to start the right side and then the left side. And then we're going to come back together. And then actually I'll get you to do another rotation if you're feeling up for it. The right side and then the left side. So 2 rotations. And then when you've finished your 2 rotations, I'll give you a couple of moments to come back whilst I can't see your practice. But I'll just intuitively allow that process to unfold. So 2 rotations and then we'll join back together. And then I will guide the final series of the Surya Namaskar. So in your own time, your beautiful flow.
So just move with what your body needs.
Feel your body. I'm just continuing my final rotation of my left leg. So I'm just returning to take a couple of steadying, focused breaths in my Uttanasana pose. So I'll just give you a couple of minutes to just join me as we now, as a beautiful kula, a beautiful community of yogis, we flow together on the final rotation. The Surya Namaskar, right side, inhale. Floating the arms down. Exhale into your forward fold. Inhale, raise the heart up. Exhale, flutter the hands or spring of the hands. Right leg comes back. Left leg into downward facing dog. Focused on flipping the hips back, navel up. So I'm now coming via the high plank, chaturanga, but you can certainly come to the knees, scooping the energy up, flat of the feet, elbows into the side body, raising yourself up, elbows forward. I'm now turning the toes back. Rather than coming via tabletop, exhale, downward facing dog, but you can take Your modified version, perfect for the body. Next inhale, right leg comes forward. High lunge or the low lunge, getting ready, springing that left foot forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. Exhale, ground your legs. Raise yourself up, inhale. Woo. Is anyone else feeling the heat generation? Beautiful, inhale. And I'm bringing hands through Samasthiti and I'm folding forward. Slight variation, exhale. Inhale, Adho Uttanasana, halfway lift. So the hands can also come to the front of the shins. Exhale, left leg, followed by the right. Sweeping the right back, downward facing dog. Spring at the toes, I'm coming via chaturanga, high plank. Elbows into the side, scooping energy up. I'm turning my toes under, downward facing dog. And the final rotation, left leg. High lunge. And this is nice here in our waterfall pose. Head comes to the knee. Exhale, right leg forward, Uttanasana. Ground the feet. Raising your body up. And exhale, beautiful. Exhale is the release here. Soften into Tadasana, soften into the body. Just shaking the hands, getting any tension. Released finally out through the shoulders, enjoying just that springing sensation of the generation of the heat. It's quite beautiful. So just focus here for a few breaths. So we slowly now just start to wind our practice down. So the inhale over the head. Exhale, hands come through prayer. Folding ourselves forward. Coming back to take your tabletop pose. Releasing the buttocks back. Softening, palms facing up. Balasana, child pose. Breathing softly, surrendering yourself. Rocking side to side. The energy from the spine, we want to think about transferring from the head to the top of the base of the spine. Beautiful practice. I can feel the heat generating in my beautiful body. Feels amazing. So come back to take buttocks just back to the heels here. Palms facing up. So experience that transition from the forward fold into feeling alive and spirited. So let's now, if we can, just cross the legs behind us or any other way to get to the floor by just bringing our legs now into forward position, releasing any spare flesh that may be sitting underneath the buttocks so you're nice and connected to the earth. Feet focused forward, nice and strong in the core here. That's it. And just coming into Janusarasana, So into a forward fold. So what I'd like you to do is just place the hands onto the front of the shins. I want you to start to push the shoulders down the back. I want you to have the feet connected towards the heart. Flip the hips back. So if we think about this pose is in our standing pose, Uttanasana. So this is the halfway lift, but in seated position. So you can see the beautiful shapes repeat themselves. So we're just using different mechanics of the body to run the prana. So then the next inhale, what I'd like you to do is place the palms up, lift up from the waist and slowly start to meander yourself a little further forward, this time with the palms facing up beside the legs. And if you can, come to the elbows, feet focused forward, and slowly starting to fold yourself a little further forward into your fold. Uttanasana, Vajranisarasana. That's it. Next breath, turning the palms of the hands over. So we're up to the spring of the fingers now, or flat of the palms. So still raise the heart up. Sit back into the sit bones, nice flat back. Slowly allowing yourself to come back now. And we're slowly starting to counterbalance the pose and starting to wind ourselves down for the golden nectar, which is Shavasana. A little sip of hot water. So the buttocks now comes back. And let's just lovingly invite the knees now to come into the chest. We're rocking the knees side to side. And let's just now allow the legs to come out over the top of the head, palms facing down. So we're in a nice 90 degree here. So we're switching the core on, Vipachakyariani, legs up the wall pose. Flattening the back of the shoulders, lengthening out the neck, so visualizing through the top of the crown a nice ball of light. Allowing the core to switch on. Manipurna, make a little fist in through the navel. You may want to close the eyes here, just for a few breaths. Next, inhale. So bringing that right knee into the chest now, wind release, grabbing onto both hands into the knee. Next inhale is just placing now that right knee to the floor. And just with that left leg, let's just release any tension through the feet. Let's just thank the foot and the knees and the legs for supporting us in that dynamic flow, that beautiful Surya Namaskar. Next inhale, let's grab onto that left leg and let's bring that into just what we call half butterfly or half lotus leg. So with that left foot, let's just raise the toes back towards the knee, and with that knee, let's just now allow a little bit of pressure by just placing that left palm onto the left knee. Stacking the hips back, so we want to make sure that the pelvis is nice and supported, the lower back is to the floor. And just gently opening the glute here. Also lovely ability to just kind of feel where there's any tension sitting in the lumbar spine. That's it. You may want to place your hand also on your tummy or in your heart. You can just feel the body, can't you, with the breath. That's it. So the next inhale, allow that left leg, releasing any further tension, and now lovingly invite that left leg towards the buttocks, foot to the floor, raising that right. That's it.
now just bringing opposite knee into the chest. And just bringing that right leg now into the half butterfly. So once again, it's that the toes on that right leg pushing back towards, so they're not pointed, the foot is not flexed, its toes are pointed back. Now just with that, moving that left foot towards the buttocks and splaying that right knee out to the side and just placing a little bit of pressure with the right hand onto the knee. Just to open, so settling into the lumbar spine, settling into the core, nice flat back. So paying attention to the neck, making sure the head is nice and long, and just breathing here. That's it. So enjoying the benefits of the heating of the body, and then this dramatic cooling, but still creating what we call still awareness and tension. We're shifting in the body just through these long, slow, deep holds. We're consciously connecting to the body here, so we're not shifting away. We're not running away from the softness of cooling down. Okay, it's very important to have balance. And as we know, the Hatha practice is actually about balance. It's about Ha, meaning the sun, Tha, meaning the moon. Ha is the dynamic aspect of flow and building intensity and heat, and the Tha, moon, subtle, soft, cooling energy, using the yin practice, or the yin energy. So it's the yang and the yin, or the yin and the yin. Beautiful. Okay, so let's now just raise the legs up once again, slowly unstacking, knees into the chest, and then we're just going to rotate the knees across the body. So bringing both knees now across the front of the body. So with that left arm, let's raise the left arm up, palm facing out to the side of the body. And if we can, just look the head over the left shoulder. So we're opening through the ribs, we're opening through the armpit, softening in, that's it. Opening the side of that body. And with your right hand, you may want to place it just on the side of your left knee. Next, inhale, knees into the chest, and moving yourself across to the opposite side of your practice. Knees to the left. Moving your palm slowly focused out to the right side. That's it, palm facing up. And if you can, look out over the right side of the body. Nice twist, abdominal twist. Getting rid of any residual toxins that have been residing in the body overnight. Okay, so for the final release, just starting to adjust your clothing here. Bringing knees into the chest, wind release final time. Releasing any further tension, and the legs now. Come back to find your beautiful final rest pose. Corpse pose, and we're taking Shavasana. So let's find the length of the mat. You also may want to find some pillows underneath the head, but I just like to connect my whole body with the earth. I like to place the palms up, the feet slightly off to the side. And if you have a little throw or a little eye pillow over the face, that's also beautiful. So the throws, traditionally we would practice as it contains the prana for a lot longer. So the prana is the life force or the energy that we build, and you can feel that prana
being stimulated in the body, can't you, through the sweat or the little dewiness that we feel. So we want to maintain this sense of keeping the heat in the body for as long as possible. So we're creating this beautiful, I don't know, it feels like a container, this container for growth. Wonderful. So let's place the palms facing up, feet off to the side, surrendering into the arms of the mother. That's it, breathing here. And if it feels safe and within your practice, close the eyes down. And just watch the rise and fall of your breath. All you need to be concerned about at this point in your practice is just the rise and fall of the breath. So I'm just going to leave you here for just a few moments with your breath. And I'll bring you back shortly. At this point in your practice, I just lovingly invite you to start to just bring some sensory awareness back to your physical body. So not moving the body too quickly and not jumping out of your body too quickly. So we're not wanting to move with aggression, we're not wanting to move. We want to just maintain this state of parasympathetic, so it's that rest and digest state. And I want you to very much connect back in with your heart space and your intention for your practice. So connect with the wisdom, connect with any feelings and emotions that have been risen for you, that you've created through this awakening of the internal systems, awakening of the chakra system, the meridian system that carries our prana or the blood, and just allowing yourself to really resonate with the feeling of the practice. And when you're ready, ever so slowly begin to awaken. So Shavasana is this nectar, which Shavasana actually in Sanskrit actually means the corpse. But it also allows us to remember that rebirth is also possible. So we're also raising ourselves, if we can, out via the right hand side when you're ready, and moving just slowly. Maintaining the safe container for yourself within your practice. When you're ready, I lovingly just invite you to take your seated position back together. When you're ready, the big inhalation is in through the nose, and the exhalation is out the nose. Inhalation in through the nose, exhalation is out through the nose. Final inhalation, raising all of the sensations of peace and love and joy, whatever that intention is, rise that up to the heart, slight pause at the top of your breath. Exhale, let it out. So as I now close the practice this morning, or this evening or this afternoon, whenever you're watching or if you're following along on the replay, just join hands into the prayer pose, into Namaskar. Now I'm just going to close the practice with a chant of Om Shanti Shanti. So you're very welcome to join me with the chant. We'll chant 3 times. But if not, if the chant is not within your practice or within your range, that's completely okay. And remember, chanting is actually not singing. It's actually just raising this essence and this vibration of what the chant means within us. So Om Shanti Shanti means peace, even bigger peace. So if you're ready, let's join with the next inhale. Om Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti. Next inhale, bowing the head in gratitude to the practice. And as we close the practice, Om Shanti Shanti means peace, even bigger peace. So I wish you so much love and light, and namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a beautiful day. And so for those of you who have joined me and have enjoyed the practice, I lovingly just to invite you to hop across to our timetable. Our timetable is in our virtual community. So we have weekly classes, meditation this week on Sunday. We have a yin yoga practice Tuesday, an afternoon flow on a Wednesday, and an early morning rise and shine on Thursdays. Plus our term structures roll around at the end of April. So I lovingly invite you to practice with me. Lots of love, everyone. Thanks so much. Namaste. Bye-bye.